So my point of affliction is that not only, what we saw going on in Dolton, where you had the fire department not having a contract, literally not having insurance, and they're still putting themselves at risk. And this is related to officers' action and into counters that's not de-escalated, because we're gonna name some of the officers as well, and also show you by way of proof that many of the officers in Dolton made over $100,000 in 2023. They made over $100,000 in 2023. We cross-referenced two of our lists, and that was even more than the Hinyard guy. All right, so shout out to the audience member that was aware that one of the officers and a few of the officers involved in this situation and other situations under Mayor Tencher made hundreds of thousands of dollars in Dolton off of the backs of the residents, while some of them use their power to torment them. And that's why I think this is a very important issue that we have to address to make sure that the Dolton police behavior is not only addressed, corrected, but they have the right leadership and a check and balance system. Later on in other broadcasts, we're going to probably, because we're going to pick every single thing that people did wrong. And in that intro video, you see the EMT worker go up to Alexis vehicle, a Carver vehicle, and literally look in the car and jump back and walk away. We showed you a sensitive part of what was going on and wanted you to notice that no care was rendered to Alexis. The door wasn't open. And I had to think about it. I was like, maybe it was because they had to pull the roof off of the car. But as you noted, or you did not note in that particular video, Officer Carlton was in the car as well, inside of the car. And that's where we're going to get these participating officers and false allegations, false statements, okay? Because Officer Perez, as you can see, he was in, I do apologize, Officer Carlton, the one that is now still getting paid in the city of Dolton, was inside of the car. And he was pulled out the car by pulling his seat back and pulling him back out of the car. They never tried to pull Alexis' seat back. But as you heard in the video and what we read, it was several times that Officer Carlton knew he took her out. But we have to evaluate how he did it and was it realistically done the way it was in the report. And that's the issue. That is one of the issues. The lies, the deceit, the cover-up. Okay. Now, moving forward, what we're going to do is show you. Now, we had some discrepancies with some audience members or just people in the community that felt like I did not provide the facts of the officers that are actually working for the city of Dolton. And you know what we do here. We're not here to play, we're here to slay. So here goes the list of officers who are actively employed. And this is not doxing. This is for you guys to know who's working for you. Our main point of affliction in this particular broadcast is Officer Carlton. He is still full-time employed. As I received a workers' compensation document, as I showed you guys before, that he gets paid at least $3,500 every other week. And it is not proven that he is on the beat or if he's home. So in the video, what we showed you was pictures of feet and ankles. We're going to update you on his injuries, and you let us know, should he be on workers' compensation for going on 4 years now, off the back of the Dolton residents. Highlighting so people can be aware. Officer Carlton, he is the shooter. I want you guys to know that Officer Perez was not the shooter. This is Officer Perez. He was not the shooter, but he was the one that had the long rap record of unaliving people and getting away with it. So Mama Cara felt it was more important to take him off the street and go after him because he was more dangerous and had a taste for blood. This, according to my research, is Officer Carlton's first shooting. And I do believe, based on the situation and the lies, that Officer Carlton no longer deserves to be paid by the city of Dolton. And he may want to seek counseling as well as look for another career, because we're going to continue to pursue him and ask the elected officials to let him go. All right. Later on, we'll share the letter with you, as which we did. We wrote a letter a couple of months ago, before the election, and we're going to continue to try to communicate with the elected officials of Dolton related to this, because we will not rest. Now, what I want you guys to look at in regards to the pay. This is God, y'all. This is God. So I use this document right here to cross-reference on this document. And I've been kind of talking about this document. I found it on the internet. It was so weird. You know how you just do Google search? Now, I'm not sure what Google search I was doing, but I was looking for financial records for Dolton. And this particular document just showed up. Yeah, God be the glory. This is the Village of Dolton annual treasury report for the end of April 2023. Okay. And this is where I gained the proof of monies that was spent. This is an amazing. Don't worry, we're gonna get back to this. It's contractor's name here and everything, y'all. But what really got my attention pertaining to this, thank God. Just say God is good, because I don't even know how I got this document. This document basically highlights personnel services and the payments of their personnel people. Now, I highlighted a few individuals because I was just being nosy. And y'all know the first name that I highlight right here is DeMarcus Krigley, under $25,000. Okay. And I will say this. In this section of under $25,000, you see Kiana Belcher name, the trustees. You see Tammy Brown name. You see House name. You see Holmes right here name. Yeah, I was digging. You see Brittany Norwood name right here. And also you see Lavelle Redmond name. These are names that the residents will know. Now, with that goes to say, this is saying that these people got paid under $24,000. And we know that the trustees reimbursement for all that hard work is about $24,000, I think, which is okay. Y'all know that's not enough. But this shows the truth that this is what they got. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, cool beans. That's cool. They honorable. They ain't, because if they receive more money in this year, they will fall under a different category. Now, this is a weird setup, but this is how this document came. So I'm just going to run with it. Okay. So then you also, and this is something that we'll talk about, Miss Alliston Kimberly. She got paid between $25,000 and $49,000. And that was who? An inspector. These are some of the things on this document that I want you guys to know about, and we're going to go over it. Okay. But what really stood out to me pertaining to this broadcast is Officer Jared Carlton. This is the officer who now is still being employed, still getting paid from Dolton and everything. He at least got paid between $75,000 to $99,000, according to my calculations, about $80,000 in 2023. That's 2 years after the unfortunate incident that we showed you with Alexis. So he has been on workers' compensation, using workers' compensation in regards to the injuries. Now, we're going to look at those particular injuries. And I know you guys are not healthcare providers, but you guys give me your opinion. But me as a healthcare provider, I think 3 years later, he should be healed and at least on desk duty if that's happening. And if he is, I would hope that we know about it and that he's going to lose his job coming up. Now, let's get to this section. Now, this is the section right here that our audience member brought up, because there's several officers that was involved in this particular situation that we're going to show you, and we're going to get to them one by one. We're going to knock them down one by one for what they did, not excessively, but we're going to highlight it so you guys can see wrong is wrong, wrong is wrong. So shout out to Mr. A-Dub. Wow. Doesn't one of them work over 300 hours in 2 weeks? So this is basically showing a lot of the officers that's on our list. I cannot highlight it, but there are a lot. As you can see, Robert Collins in 2023 got over. Now, this is not between, this is over $100,000. And there's a lot more officers that's named here that we don't have to dox, but I can show you the documents if you guys need to. I'm telling you, I did the research, and about 80% of these names, 90% of these names, as far as look at Staples names right here. You got Young name right here. Y'all remember that? And yeah, everybody know this. This is public information, all right? Just letting you know for information and educational purposes only, as well as Byron Miles. Wasn't he connected to the Fania case as well? Over $100,000. He even got paid more than who? Let me show you what Henyer actually got paid, according to this, between $50,000 and $74,000. Look at her name. So this was a document that I actually found and was very lucky to, but this shows the proof that these officers are still actively working as far as 2023 documents that I see. And did the list that I just showed you, I got that around August, September or so. About August or September, after I came back from the original Butterfly release. So guys, please be aware that we're not sharing this for nothing. We need to make sure that these officers are trained. They deserve to get over $100,000 in pay, as well as you guys also need to keep into consideration overtime, just like you said in overtime. So what happens with overtime when you're working massive hours? You're tired, you're cranky, you're cognitively delayed. Oh, yes, me as a nurse, I definitely know that. And in an officer's position, working all of those hours, allegedly getting over 300 hours in 2 weeks, even though we know that's not totally real, it just shows some of the mindset or what can happen when you kind of put in these factors. It's not just getting paid over and over. These people just sitting there at the police station all day and all night. All right? No mental health. No eating right, no extra training, none of that. This is what's going on. And that's sickening because it reminds me of the nursing field. And that's why I walked away. It was just like, all you want is hours, hours, hours. And my body is breaking down. So I know these officers' body, mind, and everything is breaking down behind these tremendous. I wanted to make sure I get to your comments. This is so hard for me to listen to. I never forgot this girl death for no reason. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you for being here. This has been swept under the rug. And then it honestly, the tone that we get from Dolton residents, it's a supportive, but it's not a wholehearted supportive. It's we feel sorry for you, but they're not pushing the elected officials to get this rectified. So I will pray that some of the Dolton residents really see the discrepancies that I highlighted here, because this is not a personal fight. It seems like it is because I have fell in love with Miss Carver, and to the fact that I have teenagers that is around the age of what Alexis would be. And I understand what they have went through. It has been a struggle to raise these kids in this AI world, and all the bad behavior is being glorified. And even if it is, we are supposed to be adults in our professional political position to mitigate this and create programs that's going to help our youth and bridge the gap between our youth and the police. So that is one of the last things that I want to highlight. I wrote a letter to the Dolton trustees as well as House before the election, and that letter just highlights how we were pursuing basically justice from them, asking them to let go of Officer Carlton now. All right. And as Mom has suggested, maybe have something in honor of Alexis. So officers and the community can remember this that happened, and this was the time that the bond was rebonded between the community and the police. So I think that can be done with some suggestions I would throw out there. Either the skate park could be updated to make it a nice skate park dedicated to her, not the what Henry got, or you can revamp Melody Fitness. And I really think that this is a good idea, guys. And this is just something I'm throwing out there, that you revamp Melody's Fitness and allow that to be a place that not only that the community and the kids can go to, but that's where you can house your meetings that you're supposed to have instead of renting them from the park district. You can have events there for the community and yourself, because that's the parking lot Henry was using anyway, as well as you can build a relationship between the administration and the general public. As I mentioned, Miss Carl Wilson is a very intelligent woman, and she deals with autistic children. And I know if y'all would like, she will be able to offer services in Dolton to you guys, because there's a lot of undiagnosed kids in Dolton, I would assume, in the Chicago area, of autism and other learning disabilities. And these are some of the programs that needs to be heightened in y'all area, as well as getting the budget situation to get together and getting those funky crooks out of Dolton. You know, a little bit of Grace Levi gonna have to come out. So with that being said, I want to say I love you guys. Thank you for taking the time to actually listen to this and continue to learn more and more. We have a lot to divulge. We're going to talk about the gun that was found, the investigation behind that. We're going to talk about Officer Staples, as well as we're going to talk about the EMT workers and much more. And as we get more video footage, because I'm going to continue to struggle and tuggle with the Illinois State Police, I'm going to get what I asked for, and we're going to show the truth. So with that goes to say, I love you guys. You have a beautiful Sunday, and I'm going to see you guys next week. Please turn your notifications on. I love you. I love you.